My name's Sean Wilson, and I am the present president of Lurgan Rotary Club. Have been just for a few months, and will be for the rest of this year and possibly another year. We were fortunate enough to be able to give cheques to both St Vincent de Paul and also to the Salvation Army locally, both in Lurgan, in an effort to help them with the work that they do in what are very difficult and challenging times for everybody locally. I think this is going to be a difficult winter, and so we were able as a club to give some funds to both organisations to help them as they help people with their food bills, their electricity bills, etc., in a difficult year, as I say.
Tell me about Rotary, and particularly here in Lurgan, if you know its origins, how it's been around, and what it actually does.
Well, the Rotary more generally in an international setup is started about 1905, I think, something like that. An attorney, as they call them in America, called Paul Harris, was the originator of Rotary, and so it's been going over 100 years. In Lurgan, the Lurgan Club started about 1953 or 54. Very good year, 54, but that's beside the point. So we've been here quite a few years. What's the purpose of Rotary? Well, I mean, it's there to serve others, to promote health, to promote economies, to promote well-being, I suppose, for people. And one of the mottos that's used for Rotary is service above self. So the idea is that you try and give back to people who are maybe just not in quite as fortunate as a position as you are yourself, or as a club as we are. And probably two strands to it, in that there's a local strand and a more international strand, which means that we've got involved with some international charities and also the local ones. And I think it's fair to say that this year I feel that as things are pretty difficult at home, we're maybe putting a little bit more emphasis on the local end of things. I mean, I've been in Lurgan and working here for nearly 40 years now, so I do feel attached to Lurgan at this stage, and you know, would like to give something back, if you want to put it like that.
How does that roll out, John, in projects that you've taken on board, not just yourself, but the Rotary in general, here in the local sphere at least?
The local ones, well, St Vincent de Paul and Salvation Army we have spoken of, and we have fairly close contacts with them. We've been able to give them some funds on a reasonably regular basis. Other organisations that we've been involved with locally would be Sierra School, for some very disadvantaged health-wise children. Absolutely incredible place, which does incredible work. And we've been able to be involved with them at Christmas with helping out with gifts for the children. We did a little thank you garden 2 years ago, I think that was. A very good breast cancer charity in the town called Knitted Knockers, run by an amazing lady called Joanne Harris, who has been doing great work, and we've been involved there over the past couple of years, giving them some funds to allow them to develop their end of Brownlow House, which is where their headquarters is now. And just little things like giving them money towards dishwashers, water heaters, these sort of things that allow them to do the work that they're doing at the moment.
And of course you do collections as well, having been involved in one in our local supermarket. That's something you do too, to raise the funds that you're then able to redistribute, if you like.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, it hasn't been easy over the last 2 or 3 years because of our friend COVID. But you're right, we've done Tesco collections on a fairly regular basis. That's an annual one. We've run a couple of concerts, and that has been quite useful in getting some funds. And the other one that we do on a regular basis is a quiz, general knowledge quiz, good fun night, usually held in Lurgan Golf Club about February, and all welcome.
So you're doing things locally here. You mentioned about the international dimension of that. How does that look from Rotary's point of view? What's all that involved in that?
Well, to look on a sort of more global aspect of it, and Rotary as an international organisation, the big thing that they've been involved with over the last 20, 30 years is the eradication of polio, which we've nearly got there. Only two countries in the world, Pakistan and Afghanistan, that still have endemic polio. So we're nearly there. So I mean, that's a huge thing to be done on an international basis. Um, from a Lurgan Rotary Club point of view, the organisation which we've been involved with most recently is called Lend with Care, which is a fantastic organisation that we found out about, whereby I suppose you could call it pump priming, and that you lend very small entrepreneurs in Africa or South America or Asian subcontinent small amounts of money, and it gets their little business started up, and then they pay the money back into the organisation, and then we lend it out again. And it's amazing the amount of people that you can help with not a lot of money, and that's something that's been very successful, we feel. And I suppose we also respond to crises. I mean, I suppose I'm thinking about the flooding in Pakistan and the Ukrainian crisis. We've been able to donate to them recently as well. So yeah, lots of things. There's never any shortage of people or organisations that need a bit of help.
You're president now. What's your message to people within the locale that can help you to progress what the work that you do, and or how can you perhaps look for new people to come and join you?
Well, that's certainly a very pertinent question, Donagh, because we are a small, and I think all the members would be happy with me saying, an ageing club. As we were talking about earlier, that you and I are some of the younger members, so that tells you what the demographic is like of our club. We do need new members. I mean, Rotary people in the past maybe thought of Rotary as being very much a sort of professional and businessmen only club, but that's no longer the case at all. We are very happy to welcome anybody who has an interest. Doesn't matter about gender, religion, orientation of any description. Anybody who feels that they can contribute to the club and to a little bit of service for other people, we will welcome them with open arms.
And how would you go about becoming a member or finding out more?
Well, we do have an increasing through yourself presence on Facebook, so contact through that would certainly be appropriate. Through any of the members, through our website, which is not as active as it should be, but again, we're hoping, Donagh, for your help to get it moving a little bit better. And the contact details are available on there. As to what we're going to do this year with regard to membership, we do have a meeting coming up fairly soon where we're going to discuss strategies with some of the other local Rotary clubs about how we're going to reach out to people and try and increase our membership. So we'll be using social media, I'm sure, to do that. So watch this space. Hopefully there's something in the not too distant future.